Well, disappointment for Bruno Amorim there, and he has said that the storm will come and we'll have to ride it. And I like the way that he speaks, actually. He seems to know the challenge that's ahead, but so many Manchester United managers have tried it since Sir Alex Ferguson, and no one seems to have the ingredients to get this club back to where it belongs, Tomo.
Well, they've had Van Gaal, they've had Mourinho, Ten Hag.
Moyes the first one, of course.
There was someone else in between there as well.
Yeah.
I think... there's deep-rooted problems there, and it looked like when Jim Radcliffe and Ineos came in, they were looking to address most of them problems. I think it is a cultural problem. They've tried to address it, but I think the real problem lies in their recruitment. They've spent a lot of money. You know, there's times when they didn't qualify for the Champions League, struggled to attract players. They've overpaid on players, to give players high wages. You know, also a case in point would be Marcus Rashford as well.
Well, the debacle over him. I mean, sorry to interrupt, but like speaking to media without the permission of your manager, from one of the top players, as a former manager yourself, you'd be furious, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but I mean, he's made it clear Ruben Amorim was not including him. He wasn't in the matchday squad again today, so I think his days are numbered, obviously.
Yeah.
It's okay discarding players, but the ones you're bringing in are not better than the ones you're discarding. Sometimes you have to play the game. Marcus Rashford, when he's playing well, he's better than a lot of players they've got on that pitch today. I just think he's making too many changes. I really do. I know he wants to have a look at all the players. Of course he does. And I think he's getting a lot of leeway here. I mean, Ten Hag, if that was him now, he'd be, we'll be coming down on him like a ton of bricks.
I think because he's good with the media, he's charismatic. I think we give him more time, right?
Absolutely. And Sir Alex Ferguson always said it's better to win the press conference than it is the football match at times. And obviously he's winning the press conferences, but he can't win a game. He's going to need to start very soon, because he knows this is the biggest club he's ever going to manage.
Yeah.
One of the biggest clubs in the world of football. He needs to pull his finger out and start getting some results. He really does. I would give him the time.
Yeah.
I think it would help with the recruitment. He's got a clear identity of how he wants to play, which is obviously going to help with the recruitment side. I agree with Tomo. The players they've got at the club are not good enough. He needs a clear out, but try and get rid of them.
Yes.
We want to see them.
The recruitment is
That's the
clear,
hard part.
and he's addressed it, and he's said that he needs to have some control over that. You can see what he's trying to do, and I know it's going to take a little bit of a while for the players to buy into it, but slowly you are seeing glimmers of what he is trying to do. He seems to be quite clear with his message, don't you think, Amorim?
I've not seen it too much yet.
No.
No, I've not seen it too much yet, but I know he's a good manager. He's got a great record at Sporting, so you just got to give him the time. But he does need the time to a couple of transfer windows, and then you can start to judge him after that. You know, once he starts bringing in the players that he wants to work with. But the problem they've got at Manchester United is particularly in midfield and the back four is that they've got no real pace. They've got no real legs in there. I think Bruno Fernandes is a great player when he's on the ball, but he can't compete with these lads, strong, powerful runners. Yeah. Look at Szoboszlai today. He enjoys playing against the likes of Bruno Fernandes. He just runs off him all day. His fitness is far superior. So it's them type of players you're going to need to get Manchester United back on its feet.
I agree. They've got no centre forwards. They've got Højlund is the only centre forward at the club. Xerxes is not a centre forward. Marcus Rashford obviously doesn't want to play down the middle. Now he's fell out with a manager. So, obviously the manager's not happy with something. You know, he's looking at the whole aspect of Marcus Rashford, not just what he's doing on the day-to-day on the training pitch and on the games. He's obviously looking at all of the squad, not just Marcus. And I'm not saying he's doing anything wrong, but there's something keeping him out of that squad. And it can't be just the interview we've done with Henry Winter, but it's not good form. It's disarray at the moment, and I'm sure the hierarchy, they know it's going to take time and they're willing to give this man the time. They would have hoped for better results. Look on the face of it. We're not talking about them losing to Liverpool today or Arsenal or Chelsea. They got beat by Bournemouth at Old Trafford. Now, unfortunately, when you're a Man United manager, you have to come into some criticism for that. And he's quite right to take the responsibility. Now, the players need to start a little bit of responsibility as well. But unfortunately, as a manager, the buck stops with you. And he's not stupid. He knows that. Yeah,
and he's taking quite a bit of heat off the players at the moment. He is taking a little bit onto himself. For a young manager, he seems to have a certain maturity about him.
Well, I think he's not long retired himself, so he's got a real understanding of what it takes to be a footballer. And I just hope, we go back to Marcus Rashford. Cara said the other day we speak too much about him for the level of ability he's got, but I just feel like there is a quality footballer in there, and he needs an arm around the shoulder. He's obviously got some problems off the pitch that people need to get to the better of and find out what it is. How can we help you become the player you need to be? And hopefully they can do that rather than just shut him out the door and pass that problem down the line. Really address it. Find out within the club what's going on with Marcus Rashford.
And as you said to him, you hope to think that they have another top-class striker lined up. If they're going to boot one out of the door, you like to think that they know that they're going to get someone in the next window.
Absolutely, but then players don't come cheap.
No.
Or
easily, yeah.
And the spending now, the restrictions on spending for all of these clubs, they've got a big squad of players there, and no one will really... Who wants their players at the moment?
They've been sailing close to the wind at FFP anyway, they're just right on the cusp of it, so they really going to have to make some sales to bring in some money to then go again.